I've been using hydration bladders for a long time now, and I keep coming back to the Source WXP 3-liter for a couple different reasons. First off, I really love some of the features and functionality of the Source, particularly this large opening here that enables you to get your whole hand into the bladder to clean it when you need to. Even though it's got an antimicrobial coating and you shouldn't have to worry about fills over and over again and getting anything like that happening to it, it still does allow you to get into the bag when you need to. And I also like filling with this method too. So traditionally, most hydration bladders have a fill port like this does too. And I like Source because you can hold this and fill it at the same time, so it gives you a way to hold it. But I always find myself filling from the top of the port too. So another bonus is that everything is dummy corded. So you can see the cap is dummy corded so it doesn't fall anywhere, you don't lose it after you open it. Even this slide opening piece here at the top is dummy corded so that when you're done, you can just put it back on. So again, I like to fill through this. It also enables you to clean through it as well. That's one of the big bonuses of it. And then it's pretty easy to slide this back on it. One thing you might want to do whenever you're filling this, just a little tip, is that make sure if you're filling through the top port, you kind of wipe down everything around it because this is acting as a seal as it folds over. So if you get water in it, it could potentially leak if you're not sealing it properly. So once that's sealed, the other features that I really like about this are the quick disconnects everywhere. So you can completely quick disconnect the hose, and when you quick disconnect it, the water doesn't continue to come out, even though there is a little leaking there. The majority of the water in a bladder, just like so, here's a full one. When you disconnect this, the water doesn't come out. So I can squeeze this bladder and I don't get water coming out of that quick disconnect. So if I had to remove the hose for some reason, like removing the bladder from a backpack and I've got my hose routed around straps, I can just quickly disconnect it, pull the bladder out and fill it. That's a huge bonus. The other thing is the bite valve has a quick disconnect as well on some hoses. So you can see this is their traditional style that doesn't have the quick disconnect for the bite valve. And then this style here does. So you can just quickly disconnect the bite valve and connect it back. One of the benefits of that is that if you happen to break the bite valve or something like that, it gives you a way to quickly disconnect it and replace it if needed. Now they make two different kinds of bite valves. One is called the Storm and one is called the Helix. I prefer the Helix because it just takes a simple twist and a bite to open the water and start drinking. Whereas the Storm, you have to pull it, you have to twist and pull up to open the bite valve for drinking. Once you have your water bladder filled, there's the notorious sloshing that occurs in water bladders. And to get that to stop, all you have to do is simply invert your water bladder, open the bite valve, and suck out any available air still left in the bladder. Now it won't slosh. One last tip involves cleaning. So when you're done with your Source hydration bladder, open up the bottom valve and open up the fill port. And you can simply open up the bladder like this, but sometimes they don't always stay like that. And a little tip is to take this piece here and insert it into the bladder, just like so, and it'll hold that port open and it will continue to drain and air out. Last but not least, the Source water bladder 3-liter weighs about 7 pounds soaking wet, meaning all the way full. And I like to write that on my Source bladder here so I don't forget. So ounces are pounds and pounds equal pain. And if you can save weight wherever you can, it's important to know what your weights are for everything you're carrying.